Hi guys, welcome back to the 401 Files. My name is Ben. I create content here on the 401 Files with everything that you could possibly consider to be thought-provoking. Coming up on this video, I'm going to share with you guys why I got into the UFO phenomenon and why I think extraterrestrials are visiting Earth. Hopefully as well, I'll give you guys a few logical and strong points to strengthen your case when arguing with those stubborn friends who just like to make you feel stupid. All that coming up right now guys, so sit back, grab yourself a coffee, relax, and I'll see you at the end. So coming right in at number one is one of my most annoying arguments from opposing opposition is, well, if there is so many aliens, if there is so many UFOs, then why aren't they being caught on camera? This is very stupid, and you heard a lot of this back in the school days. Like when I was in school, teachers, pupils, etc. would say this all the time, and mainly because there wasn't cameras around like there are now. So yeah, they maybe had a point to some extent, but the fact that we now have cameras on every street corner, in every back pocket, on every watch, it's just ridiculous now how many cameras there actually are around, and we are seeing so much more UFO footage come forward. The trouble that we have now though is that we also have things like Photoshop, and people are obviously a lot more tech savvy, so we can have any walk of life now manipulating footage, which makes it a lot easier to hoax the UFO footage. So what I'm trying to say here is that that real piece of footage, or those few real pieces of footage, get thrown in with all this other crap that's been manipulated and superimposed. It's just ridiculous now, but again, it's very hard to decipher what is real, what is fake. But the old saying of why aren't they being caught on camera, they are being caught on camera. It's just, what is it that we're looking at, which ones are real and which ones are fake. And sometimes we just have the added pain in the ass that footage is too good. It's as simple as that. Sometimes footage can actually just be too good, that's enough to make people not believe. And I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but unfortunately that is the case, because people have set this bar in their own mind of what UFO footage should look like. And if it doesn't fall under this blurry, unstable quality of footage, then it's just obviously too good. And well, if it's too good, then well, it's just not real, obviously. So go figure. And that's the kind of mindset that people have. So they're so accustomed to seeing terrible footage time and time and time again that, oops, when one pops up that's actually really good, it's got image stabilization, it's 1080p or better, people just can't get to grips with that in their heads. Because believe it or not, people become comfortable with routine and what they're used to seeing. People hate change. I mean, for example, when you watch Home Alone 1, you watch Home Alone 2, they've got the same characters, Home Alone 3 comes along, all the cast's changed, it just doesn't sit right with us. Like, we don't like that as much as we did the first two when we had the same characters and that was familiar to us. So this is kind of the same. It's a bit weird to give that analogy, but hey, people want to see blurry footage because, well, that's what they're used to. Breaking this one down really quickly for you guys, and to answer the question of where is all the footage of UFOs, well, it's out there. It's everywhere. You just have to look on YouTube and type in the word UFO sightings or UFO caught on video, UFO footage, and you will see how many videos are being released on a weekly basis with that search term. There's a hell of a lot, and the problem that we have is that there are far many more people these days hoaxing this footage than there are people like myself sat behind desks trying to work out what's going on here. The real footage does exist. Unfortunately, it's in a big pile of other terrible hoaxes. Okay, so moving on to question number two, and one that really does get on my nerves, and I'm sure you guys have all heard this one before, but it is the old famous saying of, why would they visit Earth? Why would we send a rocket to the moon, set up bases in Antarctica, dive down deep to Marianas Trench, climb Mount Everest, send robots to Mars? Come on, you're having a laugh, right? People wouldn't surely do any of these things. Not to mention there's a whole movement of people studying something called myrmecology. Do you know what myrmecology is? The study of ants. That's right, people dedicate their entire lives to study ants. Now imagine one day finding ants that say, oh I don't know, fire nuclear weapons at each other, basically look like naked apes, try to leave their home planet in rockets filled with fuel that burns, destroys the very bloodline of their existence, chops it down to make paper. And you seriously want to ask why you think any extraterrestrials would be interested in us? Wow. Just wow. Now, I've just given you a few quick reasons as to why extraterrestrials would be interested in humans, but that's only going off the premise that they don't know who we are yet. But there's other scenarios why extraterrestrials might be interested in humans. One of them might even be that they put us here. They keep coming back to see how we're evolving, see how their experiment is unfolding, or it might even just be that they feel threatened by us and we don't even know it. If they are super intelligent and they're living on a neighbouring planet, I'm sure to God that there would be red flags popping up everywhere about the neighbours next door who are dealing with technology and weapons that they can't even fathom. Wrapping this one up really quickly then, to answer the question of why would extraterrestrials be interested in humans? Yeah. Just yeah. They would. Okay? Annoying argument number 3, we've all heard this one time and time again. People saying, but if there are aliens, they're not going to look like human, they're not going to look anything like humans. Now in almost every abduction case, there are these stories of human looking beings. Now I'm not saying all, I said almost all. Every abduction case, there are these stories of human looking beings. Now for me, I can fully jump on board with that, and I can fully see that somewhere out there would be something that looks very similar to humans. Why? Well, because it works. The whole form of a head, 2 arms, 2 legs and 2 eyes works really well. And we've seen throughout evolution that what works well seems to be the powerful gene that carries on and carries on and carries on. But yet some people don't believe this, and for some people that doesn't sit well. So that would mean that Travis Walton's lying, that would mean that Betty and Barney Hill are lying, and a countless other number of abduction cases would have to be scrapped, because like I said, in almost all of them, there are stories of human-looking beings. Do you think somewhere right now in the world there's a horse saying, well, if there is another one of us in Africa that won't look like us, and somewhere else there's a zebra going, or do you think there's a bear somewhere right now in Canada, sat at the side of a lake, chewing a big steak of meat, laughing at the idea that there's a bear somewhere else in the world eating bamboo and going, well, he can't look like us? Or what about our good friend the bonobo, or the great apes, or any of the great apes for that matter? Do you think that they're swinging through trees right now and one of them says, hey, I heard this rumour today that there's someone that looks like us, wear suits and build buildings out of bricks. They don't have no fur. Get that? No fur. There's a reason why all fish in the sea have fins as a means of propulsion through the water, or almost all fish. There's a reason why almost all planes have 2 wings and a rudder for means of flight, because it works. So yes, my conclusion is that there will be extraterrestrials out there that look like humans with 2 arms and 2 legs and a head. Very similar, because why? It works. Simples. And as the good old saying goes, guys, if something's not broke, don't fix it. So there's my assumption, guys. There's what I believe. I do believe that extraterrestrials would look like humans to some extent. Maybe they're crossbreeds or hybrids, whatever it may be. I just feel like that they would look like humans, or some of them at least would look like humans. Why? Because it's the dominant gene. It's proven to work. 1 head, 2 arms, 2 legs. Does the job. But here's where this argument gets really annoying, because some people will say, yeah, but that's very unlikely because they just wouldn't have the same chemical signature. But get this, they're usually the same people that agree that life could exist elsewhere and not need oxygen and water like we humans do. So how does that work? How can you say to me in one breath that, yeah, they can't look like humans because they don't have the chemical makeup that we have, but then say, yes, I do believe that extraterrestrials could exist, and yes, they might not need oxygen and water to survive like we do? That makes no sense! I'm having so much fun with this, guys. I hope you are too as well. This is just a bit light-hearted fun, but these are all questions that we've no doubt been asked at some point in our search for answers, and I just find it comical. But moving on to question 4 is, why don't they just present themselves? I'm assuming that what people really mean when they say why don't they just present themselves is why aren't they landing on the White House lawn? Talk about a bad landing. I mean, you could land anywhere on the earth, anywhere on planet Earth, and you choose to put yourself on the doorstep of the most narcissistic, selfish, corrupt liars in the world. Oh boy, this is worst case scenario stuff. This. Any intelligent species out there observing humans with even half a brain cell would not make this decision. You'd be better off flying and making the long trip here to Earth just to fall into a volcano. Honestly, it would be that much easier. Right, guys, I've had a ton of fun doing this video. Hopefully you've all really enjoyed watching it. Like I said, this was never made to poke fun at people, but these are questions that we've all been asked throughout our journey here, looking for answers for UFOs, extraterrestrials. And sometimes we can all get caught up and become too serious in this, and it's always important to remind ourselves that we're human, we're here once. Let's enjoy ourselves and search for the answers in the most light-hearted way that we possibly can. Because it may be that we never find out, and that's just the cold hard truth of it all. But you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for spending time with me, taking time out of your day or your night, whatever it may be, wherever you are in the world, to sit here with me and chew the fat. You guys have been awesome, like I always say. Please do look after yourselves, take it easy, stay safe wherever you are in the world, and until next time, guys, I will see you on the next one.